Training Humanitarian Teachers and Workers by Gertrude Van Pelt, published in the April 1905 International Theosophical Chronicle, read by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. The International Theosophical Chronicle was the magazine of the Pasadena-based Theosophical Society. Training Humanitarian Teachers and Workers. The plan of education at Point Loma is so much broader than that which is ordinarily understood by the term that the old ideas must be thrown away utterly in order to form any conception of it. Its object is nothing less than a liberation of the soul with all its powers. The teacher in this school teaches the science of right living, and the instruction extends into every department of human thought, feeling or activity. The teaching is not simply from the professor's chair. Indeed, least of all in this way. For it reaches like an atmosphere of forceful purity into the many folds and the unknown depth of human character, which could never be touched through the brain alone. The simile of the sympathetic vibrations of musical strings gives a hint of the process. It is well known that when a note is sounded by a string, all the others in its vicinity, which are capable of sounding the same note, are immediately set in vibration, and that if the sound is continued, each string reacts on all the others, making the sound stronger. If similar strings were placed near each other, extending to any distance, they would all take up the motion, gradually spreading it over the whole world. The plan of education at Point Loma is to sound every pure note in human character, and to continue sounding them until they have the power and force to awaken into life other strings in an ever-widening circle. Many of these strings have lain quiet for ages. Many have never yet been used at all, and it requires a vigorous mastery of the knowledge of human nature on the part of the teacher to awaken the tune and the soul's instruments, the bodies of mankind. It is easy to see that although books might be written on the method of education at Point Loma, it is a subject too subtle ever to be described in words. To perceive it in process, it is necessary to have the rare privilege of being a student. From outside, it can only be sensed by observing the results which become evident in the process of time. But in general, it can be said that the education is based on the knowledge that every man is divine and has godlike possibilities which are waiting to be called forth. It is likewise based on a knowledge that every man has within him another nature, which can make of him a demon if not transmuted. These two factors in human life are never lost sight of in any part of the training. Also, in general, it can be said that the education is essentially practical, and so arranged that theories are at once carried on to the plane of action. The most important teachings come through service for others, and inasmuch as this is constantly thought of, inasmuch as all who receive are stimulated to give, all are learning to be teachers, while all are pupils. This is true even of the small children, for the plan is not simply to develop and aid in their evolution, those who are here, but to make of each one a centre through which at least some part of the teaching may pass on to others. The system of education includes physical training as an important feature, and likewise the study of all the arts and sciences which are commonly included in a liberal education, but it does not rest there. Head learning is subservient to and never dominates the heart. The learning of the simplest facts, the doing of the commonest acts are energized by a noble purpose. This is the result of the realization of man's divinity. The philosophy taught, being the philosophy of life, must be lived, and not only talked about, otherwise it is worthless. All this is beyond price. The students give their service gladly, and no officers or teachers are salaried.